Hey everyone, it's technology expert Burton Kelso here with another tech tip to help you get the most out of the technology in your life. Today we're talking about how to back up and restore your data from your computers, smartphones, and tablets. Now, I did a video about this a year ago, but a lot of you complained because I didn't show actual step by step how you can back up and restore information to your devices. I mean, external devices, like an external hard drive. So anyway, let's get started with this video because there's a lot of information that we need to cover as far as backing up and restoring to your Windows, Macintosh, Android, and Apple devices. So let's go to our desktop and get started. So probably one of the best things to use to back up your information would be an external hard drive. And it's kind of silly for me to show you a blank window screen without getting to the meat of the matter. So let me bring up File Manager, and I've got an external hard drive connected, and let's take a look at it. So there is a Passport 500 gigabyte external hard drive. Once you plug your external hard drive into your Windows computer, it will show up under this PC. Now, as far as backing this thing up, there's two ways that you can back up information with computers. Number one way is to do a simple copy and paste. Another way is to utilize backup software. Now, we'll warn you, if you rely on using copy and paste, you're only going to back up your information when you do a copy and paste. The best way to do backups for your computers and your smart devices is to make sure that you have an automatic backup system in place, so that way your files are always being backed up. What happens with many people when it comes to backing up with external devices is that the external hard drive or even flash drive stays dormant in a desktop drawer or a file cabinet, and your information never gets backed up because you're relying on your stuff. When it comes to your technology, you're always wanting to use it. So automatic is the best method. But for those of you that insist on trying to do it manually, here's how you do it. So going back to our Windows computer, if you want to do a simple copy and paste, you need to copy the folder onto the external hard drive. Now, on a Windows-based computer, most of your information is going to be stored either on drive C, if it has this indicator, or local disk D, which I don't have, but the D drive is a DVD drive. Now, under local disk C on Windows, all of your information is pretty much going to be stored under what's called the users folder. As you can see, there is a Burton folder listed under users, and so under users on your Windows computer, you will see a similar folder that has that information there. Now, if you back up, this is the folder that you want to back up, because if I click on it, as you can see, you've got all of your important folders there. You've got your default Windows folders, which are documents, downloads, favorites, pictures, and videos. Those are your Windows default folders. Now, you may have some other folders, such as your Dropbox folder, your Amazon Drive folder, and even your OneDrive folder. Now, if you have a Google Drive folder, which I'm not seeing on my end, it will be listed here as well. So if you back up under users and your name folder or anything that has been most recently used, that is the folder that you want to back up. Now, it's a good idea to get in the habit of start storing all of your information under users and your name folder or your main user folder. Now, if you get into the habit of storing information under local disk C or D, what happens, those files are going to be missed in your backup unless you are absolutely sure where that information is being stored. So keep that in mind. But under most circumstances, your information is going to be stored under users, under drive C or D, and then your namesake folder, which has all of your important information in it. Now, if you want to make a quick backup using copy and paste, all you need to do is to go to your user folder, right click on the mouse, and then click on copy. What that does is that copies all of the information in that folder into what's called the Windows clipboard. Now, once you have that information copied to the Windows clipboard, then you can proceed to your backup device or your external hard drive. And once you double click on the folder, you can either right click on your mouse and hit paste, and it will paste that information to this folder, or you can go up to the menu bar here at the top and click on paste as well, and it'll start the process of copying your information from your computer to your external hard drive. And you can confirm that by looking at Passport E. Now, one of the things that you need to look at before you do a copy and paste is to verify that your external hard drive has enough information or enough storage to house your information. How do you find that out? Pretty darn simple. Now, this rule applies to Windows and Mac, but I will show it on a Mac here in a minute. You can just click on this PC to get to under File Manager to get back to your list of devices. You can double left click on your drive, and then it's just a matter of hovering your mouse over your folder that you want to copy and single left clicking, and it should give you the information of how much information is stored. If you look at that closely, you can see that there's 235 gigabytes worth of data in that user's folder. Now, if I click on my personal folder, the one that I want to back up, then you can see 238 gigabytes worth of data that needs to be backed up. What that tells you is, before you back up your information, you need to make sure that your external hard drive or your thumb drive has at least 238 gigabytes worth of data, at least for my computer. For your computer, the number can vary, but you always want to make sure that you've got the storage capacity to back up your information. So before you back up, make sure you check your space and then buy the appropriate sized drive. Now, as far as restoring from your Windows computer using a copy and paste, it's pretty darn simple. You can go back, and let's get back to our desktop, to our backup device, which is our external hard drive. Let's pretend that this file, or actually user data, is the one that we want to restore. There's all the user data on this folder. We can right click on these files, and then there should be an option to select all, or if there's a specific file that you want to get, you can just right click on that file, click on copy, go back to this PC, go back to your drive C, go to your users folder, choose your username, choose the appropriate folder, which, let's say, my documents, and you can right click, and then you can paste that information, and lo and behold, that folder will show up. Now, depending on the size of file or folders that you're copying, it could take several minutes to several hours to either back up that information or to copy that information to your computer. Now, let's say you want a more automated process to back up your computer. Now, for external hard drives, you can, in Windows, you can use a program called File History, and I'll quickly show that. Under File History, you can just go under the Windows search and type in the word file, and then let's get to history if we can get it. Now, what you will get is back up your settings on this computer. So you can choose to back up using File History on your Windows computer. If you turn it on, it will automatically back up your stuff. If you go to more options under File History, it actually allows you to select your external hard drive to ensure that that is the device that you want to back up stuff to. After a few seconds, as you can see, it will allow you to select your hard drive. And as you can see, this WorldBook hard drive that I had previously is disconnected. You can also go through and select your folders that you want to back up. There's some extra folders on there. If you want to get rid of those extra folders, you need to go down and you should be able to right click on those folders, or single left click, I'm sorry, and then click remove and it'll remove it. Now, one of the things that you need to do if you've backed up with file history in the past is that you need to scroll down to the very bottom of the settings and you need to click stop using drive and select a different drive. Now, once that happens, file history will automatically go through and allow you to start using a different drive, and you can select it and have it back up your stuff. Now, I'm not a big fan of file history because it has the tendency to stop backing up your Windows stuff. So it'll initially back up correctly, but then it will stop. So use file history at your own risk. One of the things that I recommend doing is to get a brand name hard drive and use the backup software for it. I personally recommend Western Digital drives. So if you've got a Western Digital drive, be sure to download a copy of WD Backup. Software is free. It'll either come with your external hard drive or you can download it from Western Digital site. What you could do to set up WD Backup is to click on Next. It will select your passport to back up your information. That's the one that's set up. Now you can set up automatic backups with the, and let me close this out because it's showing the drive. You can set up automatically backups to do the daily or hourly, daily, monthly. My recommendation would be to do them hourly. You can also choose which folder is going to be selected. But as you can see, the default folder that Windows wants you to back up your stuff from is your folder under Users. Or you can select your own individual files as well. Once you get your passport set up with the WD Backup software, it's just a matter of clicking on starting backup and then it will start a backup file. And I'm going to click on that and kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like. Let's go back to into backup, and the WD Backup shows you that the backup is in process. Now, let's say we want to restore a backup. What I did is I clicked on the WD Backup software down in the lower left-hand or right-hand corner. The Restore Backup feature comes on, and I can choose to restore to either the original location where my files were backed up or select a location where I want to restore that information. So in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and delete this backup plan because I don't want to back up to this device. And we're going to go ahead and unplug our external hard drive from our Windows computer, and let's open up a Macintosh window, and let's go ahead and get our backup set up to back up to a Mac, which is pretty darn easy and will go quick. As Mac users know, the best program, or the only program that you want to use to back up your information, is with Time Machine. And don't ask me why I forgot that, but that is the program that you want to use. Let's get to our Mac. So we've got a Mac with Big Sur on it. If I want to go to Time Machine, there's two ways. I can go to the icon, which is listed in the upper corner of the Apple bar. And also, you want to make sure that you see your external hard drive when you plug it in before you go to Time Machine. So let's go ahead and click on Time Machine. And if you can't find Time Machine by clicking on the icon at the top, you can definitely go to Spotlight, type in the word Time Machine, and lo and behold, Time Machine will pop up. So now we're in Time Machine, which is what I don't want. So let's escape because we need to get back to configuring Time Machine. So let's go into Time Machine by opening up Time Machine preferences. So what you want to do once your external hard drive is hooked up, you can tell Time Machine to back up automatically. What it'll do is it'll do hourly backups of your information for the past 24 hours, and it'll keep backups until your disk is full, and then it will start to delete those old backups. And also, don't forget the all important step of selecting your external hard drive as the disk that you want to use for Time Machine. Now, before you use Time Machine, keep in mind that if you're using an external hard drive, it just doesn't add on to your external hard drive. Time Machine actually wants to format your drive in order to make it exclusive use for Time Machine. So let's go select a different volume and just tell it to cancel, because we don't want to use this external hard drive to back up information. But truth be told, Time Machine is probably one of the best ways to back up to your Mac. Now, one of the things that I went into an accident was to enter Time Machine. Now, we're not going to get a good log here, but as you can see, if you enter Time Machine, you can go back to as many backups that you have on your Mac, as much storage as you have. But we can't see those backups because I've never backed this Mac up with Time Machine. So let's go ahead and hit escape and get out of Time Machine. But as you can see, there are infinite backups that you can choose from Time Machine. And once you click on one of those backups, you can easily restore information to your Macintosh to the location where you backed it up. Now, I also want to show you the file system on a Mac. There's our external hard drive. If I want to do a regular copy and paste of information, I can definitely go to Home on my Mac. Once I'm under Home, as you can see, the Mac file system is similar to Windows. So I can highlight all of these items, or the main folders that I normally want to back up, or desktop, documents, maybe OneDrive and pictures. So let's highlight that. Once we do that, we can go to File, or actually Edit, Copy 6 items, and let's minimize this window. Go to our external hard drive passport, then you can go to Edit, and then you can paste once you've got the right folder selected, and it will paste all of that information directly into that folder. So if we can click on a folder, it should allow us to paste. And our Mac is being slow and sluggish. So if you don't get the option to paste, you can always minimize your window, and let's go back, or let's open up our Mac window under Computer, or actually Home, I'm sorry. But you can actually drag these items. So let's do it Desktop. Just drag it over, and it's not allowing me to, it's not cooperating. And I don't have anything in Desktop to copy over. But you can go into the Documents folder. There's an untitled folder, and as you can see, I use nothing on this Mac. But if you can't copy the folder over, you can definitely copy the contents of your information over to your Macintosh external hard drive and get that information to back up. But honestly, the best way to back up on your Mac is to just use Time Machine with an external hard drive or a flash drive. Now, what about these devices? Your smartphones and tablets, you definitely need to back up the information on it. Now, I will say that unfortunately, you can't hook up a external hard drive to a smartphone or tablet. So the best way to make that happen is to back it up to the cloud. And you can do that on desktop computers too, but for right now, let's work on our smart devices. Doesn't matter if you've got an Android or an Apple device, you can definitely back it up. So going back to our desktop, iCloud is the software that you want to be able to use for your Apple device. And of course, Google Drive, if you've got an Android device, that is the cloud-based system that you want to use to back up. Now, for you iPhone users, it's pretty darn simple to do. And it was easier to screen capture rather than to make sure that this was going to work. So what you want to do is you want to go to Settings. Once you're under Settings, you want to go to iCloud. Once you're under iCloud, go to iCloud Backup, and then make sure that the option for iCloud Backup is turned on. Now, the most important thing to remember with iCloud is that you have to have purchased enough storage. Now, for 50 gigabytes of data with Apple's iCloud, it costs you probably about 99 cents a month, and for most of you users out there, it's worth paying the 99 cents a month to have your iPhone or your iPad backed up automatically to the cloud with Apple's service. Now, you Android users out there, pretty darn simple. You can back up to Google Drive, and to do that, you want to go into System. Once you're under System, you want to go to Advanced. Once you're under Advanced, you want to make sure that you turn backup on, and then choose the option to back up to Google Drive and tell it to back up your information to Google Drive. The good thing about Google Drive is you get at least 15 gigabytes worth of free backup data, which is enough for some of you, but not all. But it's not that much more a month to upgrade to more storage space to ensure that all of your information is going to be backed up from your Android devices. Now, as far as restoration of your information from your Android device, if you delete an app, it's a simple process of downloading the app from either the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. If you delete an app from your iPhone, it's just a matter of going back to the App Store and downloading it. Now, most people will need to only restore their smartphones or tablets if something catastrophic happens. So, if that happens with your device, then when you get a new device, it's just a matter of you remembering your iCloud credentials or your Google credentials in order to restore information to your new device when you get it. So it's important, if you have an iCloud account, and trust me, if you've got an iPhone, you've got one, remember the username and password. Same thing for your Android users. Make sure that you remember your Google username and password so that you can easily restore information to your smartphone or tablet if you have to restore the device. Now, finally, since we are talking about cloud backup on devices, I want to recommend cloud backup for Windows and Macintosh devices. Not a sales pitch, but one of the best ways to back up, again, your computer is to the cloud. So let's switch back to the desktop, and there's Carbonite. Carbonite's probably one of the best systems to use for backup. You can restore your information or back up your information from your Windows or Macintosh computer to the cloud. And as you can see, once it's installed, it'll automatically back up your information as soon as you put it on your computer. Restoration is pretty simple. It's just a matter of clicking on Get My Files Back, and it will retrieve those files back to their original locations. Or if you get a new computer, it will restore those files to your new computer. Now, the good thing about Carbonite, $83 a year for unlimited backup to Carbonite's cloud storage system. Also, the good thing about Carbonite is that you get redundancy. So if you've got important files and you want to make sure that they're backed up safe and secure, Carbonite's the way to go. And it's easy because you don't have to remember hooking up an external hard drive like one of these to make sure that your information is going to be backed up. So keep that in mind. So if you've got comments or questions about backing up your information, leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you to find out what ways I can help you back up the information on your smart devices. And if I did not answer all of your questions in this video, be sure to leave a comment too, because I will respond back and let you know exactly what you need to do to back up your device. With videos, it is easy to get lost in the trees. Try to keep these as quick as concise as possible while showing you helpful steps to make sure that you're going to be able to have something to use. Now, I always have to put this up here, but be sure to subscribe. Wrong way, always. If you liked this video, and share it with your friends. Love to have you follow us on YouTube, my company Integral, or myself, Burton Kelso, the technology expert, on social media and on YouTube. There's tons of tech tips and tricks that are designed to help you get more from the technology you use at home and at work. So without further ado, I love technology. I've read the manuals, and I'm serious about making technology easy and fun to use for everyone. So take care of yourself and do many things to make you smile. And thanks for watching.